p.m. We are going to call this meeting, Board of Sewer Commissioners, to order, September 17th, 2024. The Zoom chat will not be monitored. Participants who wish to speak must raise the hand icon until the chair asks them to unmute. In this case, well, anyway, it would be you because I don't have the Zoom. Note, this meeting is being televised, streamed, or recorded by Bourne TV. If anyone in the audience is recording or videotaping, they need to acknowledge such at this time. Okay. I'm sorry, say that again?
Jamie Perkins.
Jamie Perkins from Bourne Enterprise. Thank you, Jamie. If anybody from the public wishes to access the meeting, they can do so by calling the following conference line, 1-929-205-6099, Zoom meeting ID 884-3036-4341, password all caps sewer. All items within the meeting agenda are subject to deliberation and votes by the Board of Sewer Commissioners. Call this public section order into open session. Moment of silence to recognize our troops and our public safety personnel. Salute to the flag. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay.
That sound has to be off.
Reading of the vision and mission. Anyone?
The vision. Bourne is a proud community that embraces change while respecting the rich heritage of the town and its villages. It is a municipality based on strong fiscal government with a durable economy that recognizes the rights of all citizens, respects the environment, especially the coastal areas of the community and the amenities that it affords. Bourne embraces excellent education and offers to citizens a healthy, active lifestyle.
Thank you.
I'll read the mission. Bourne will maximize opportunities for social and economic development while retaining an attractive, sustainable, and secure coastline, an environment for the enjoyment of residents and visitors. Through responsible and professional leadership and in partnership with others, Bourne will strive to improve the quality of life for all residents living and working in the larger community.
Thank you, MJ. So we don't have anybody signed up for public comment, I'm assuming? I'd like to take a quick point of personal privilege this evening before we get started on agenda item 3. I really like to take a second and just thank Matt for all the work you've done for the sewer commissioners since my time as chair. I think we take these roles, and I'm not a sewer expert, as we all know, but I really want to thank you for all your work because you help with the agenda and you go above and beyond. So I wanted to make a note to say that to you this evening. Thank you. So we can move on. Number 4, 100 Block Main Street Sewer Allocation Project Update. Please.
Hi, Vincent McKenzie, 100 Block Main. Little update, 93 and 97. We're going to combine those lots, 6-story, 6,000 square foot building, 2-story. We should start that in the spring. And 93, we have a new tenant moving in probably in 2 months, a coffee shop, juice bar in front of the Underground Fitness.
Very good.
That's it.
All right.
Any questions?
Any questions from the board?
Yes. Can you explain that what you said about 93 and 97?
Oh, we're combining the lots,
Okay.
and we're gonna put the addition on the 97 lot. But it's gonna be continuous with the building on 93. So you join the lots.
You do an 81P, and you just
Right.
combine them?
But that's for the 85 to 93 Main
Correct.
Street.
Yes.
Okay. What about the 100 block?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Anyone else? Peter?
I'm all set.
All right.
So I have a question about allocation. So our allocation spreadsheet the updated one that we got tonight says that the total available gallons per day for the sewer system is 7,994 gallons per day.
Yeah.
So my question is, what do we tell people if they come to the town for a project that's 10,000 gallons per day?
I don't think we say no. I think we look at the project and look at all the allocations and see if there's any room to either move allocations or reduce allocations.
Is that what our policy says?
It does. It does say we can look at,
So would it be beneficial to come up with some sort of policy that allows us to give a more accurate description of allocation available? Because I'm concerned about someone calling the planning board and saying, you know, I want to build this project, and then there's no, you know, if they look at this spreadsheet and say there's only 7,900 gallons available, is that what's going to happen? Are they going to be interested in further discussions, or do we need to do somehow say what could be available?
so we can look at the policy into that if you'd like to. I will say that right now there is an internal group that meets with the developers before they get very far in the process, and it is an opportunity for us to speak to them just about those issues. They just come before an internal employees group, long before they go to planning, before they come to sewer commissioners. And that allows us an opportunity to discuss this with them if they are coming with a bigger project that we may not have the allocation for.
So, but I think that staff group needs some policy direction from the sewer commissioners on how we want them to communicate what's available. So I think we should, I think we should come up with some way of talking about that. Because this underblock allocation, which has been on the books since 2015, is 26,000 gallons. So if we leave it on the books and there hasn't been an allocation paid for it, when everyone else is under the new policy and is paid for the allocation, I think we need to figure out our process so that we're treating people equitably. So I'm okay with leaving that on for now, just with the understanding that if another project comes and
they
you don't
need it,
have a
they can have it.
project, then it's
Right.
gotta go. I mean,
What's the difference if you buy the gallons and you sit on it? Me and Jimmy McLaughlin are the only ones that have actually bought property and developed it. We just purchased another lot on the 100 Main Street that's been vacant since before Christ. No one's ever built on it.
well, actually, Calamar paid
Yeah,
paid
how's that
allocation
working
and
out?
paid sewer development.
And
The Mass Maritime for their cadet housing at 11 Buttermilk Bay.
Well,
they
that was
paid-
because they didn't want to pay they ripped the building down and they're not
No,
using
they
it.
paid 12,000 for the allocation because it was unused. Well,
Is this you looking for me to give you $23,000 for the gallons?
I'm
It's not
looking-
gonna happen.
I'm
It
looking
will
for
never happen unless I have a
equitable
tenant.
treatment. So when it comes to a time, and I want the board to be in agreement.
Right.
That if this allocation is past the period of time for allocation, if another project comes for allocation, and we're saying we only have 7,994 gallons available, we need to figure out how we're gonna do that. So I'd like to have it explained to the board, maybe at our next meeting,
Okay.
what that process is. If a developer comes to the internal group, and this is what the allocation is, these are the steps that we're going to take
Okay.
in order to discuss with the sewer commissioners how to handle being able to
If
support
I
that
may,
development.
I think the 100 block on Main Street is the most important block on Main Street, does everybody agree? And it's the most expensive to develop and most challenging. So if you think someone's gonna come and wants that 23,000 gallons, feel free to take it, and it can say a parking lot. I went through this 20 years ago with the theater. I went to the town manager and the sewer commissioners. It was a 5-unit building. I bought the building for $475,000. I put $200,000 into it. I went to the sewer commissioners and I said, the upstairs is rotted, can't even use it. They say you still have to pay for the 2 units. I marched up to the building department, pulled the demo permit. Cost me $120,000 to rip the building down. I just broke even. The town got no tax and no sewer. You gotta work with us. You don't wanna work with us, I can pack up my glove and go home.
You know, I want to work with
Yeah.
you, but I also,
No one's
there's other
coming, MJ.
opportunities. So we
Nobody's
have-
coming.
We have in the spring, we have MBTA housing zoning coming.
That means nothing.
They are allocating different places around Buzzards Bay. It's not just Main Street that gets sewer allocation. There's a lot of other properties, and so all I want to be clear is that we have to understand, do we need to build more capacity, or do we have excess capacity? And, you know, we're only, really, as far as I'm concerned, these estimates of allocation are done based on Title V.
Right.
So they're overinflated. The most use is usually 75%. So maybe
So
we
why
come
isn't
up
that
with
put back-
something that says there's allocation available. I want to be able to say, we have allocation available.
I
And so-
think there's plenty of, we have over $1 million in the kitty that the people in Buzzard Bay are overpaying. Why do we have $1 million in the kitty and you want more money from the homeowners and the commercial people, and we're struggling to keep tenants in there? You're gonna lose 4 tenants in the next month in Buzzards Bay. And the tenants, they can't afford to pay the sewer and water. I pay the sewer and water for my tenants to keep them there. I'm trying to do it. If you want to fight with me, I could, like I said.
I don't wanna
think
fight.
100 Main Street should be tax exempt. That's my opinion. We got to work together. Every building I bought was condemned when I bought it. You weren't going after them for allocations and sewer and this. When I went into that 93 block, the roof was rotted, the floors were rotted, and look what I've done with it. $2.5 million. We haven't seen a penny in return. The ice cream place. Come on, work with me. If you want to take the sewer, take it. But I'm not going to write.
I don't think that's what we're talking
No,
about.
but
I think we're talking about.
I was getting the impression you wanted $23,000. I'm not going to give $23,000 till I have a tenant. And that's all it's, you know. You can buy the sewer and not use it, or you can be like me, work, build the properties, and make a better downtown. The $23,000 is not going to affect me at all. It's a matter of principle that we're paying way too much for our sewer and water downtown. I still have 5 septic systems on all my properties that I could turn them right back on. But we're paying $1,500 for units that don't even flush their toilets. And we still pay, we don't complain, we pay. We know this, you have to maintain, you gotta have money in the bank for an issue. But $1 million, so a lot of people that live in Buzzards Bay is a lot of money. And charging them that money, the $1,500 per unit, is ridiculous. If we have an issue, have a special assessment. Don't keep bleeding the homeowners in Buzzards Bay, because they're all gonna leave. We're trying.
And I think that one of the concerns that you raised that's really important is tenants leaving. And if we're going to revitalize Buzzards Bay, we have to make sure that businesses can be viable there. And so that's something that we have to really think about.
Go ahead, Peter.
The tenants we're getting asked to come there, Dollar Tree stores and pot stores. Is that what you want? Or we're very choosy who we put into our units. So work with us, and we'll work with you, and we'll make a better downtown. It's not going to happen overnight, but we're trying. Peters comes down. Everybody's been down. We're doing a good job. I'm going to pat myself on the back. My wife's down there. We're down there every day working. So it is what it is. If you have someone that wants to sue and then to do a better job, feel free, and I will not be upset that you took it away from me.
I think what we need to do is, let's assume Vinnie comes back in a couple of months and has a plan, a viable plan for the use of that 26,000. That leaves us with what the balance is. We need to start planning now, and we need to fix the problem. Assume that it's being used, and we need to find additional allocation. Because if not, we're not going to have any new development for any time soon. So, I mean, stop making. And I understand, you know, why you're asking the question, but to me, assume that it's gone, and let's start fixing the problem at hand, which is we need more allocation here in the village.
Thank you, Peter. I mean, I think we had this discussion recently about the numbers that are inflated and taking a second look at them, and this is really a policy discussion because that's coming up, but I agree. I mean, I think we need to figure it out. Right.
I mean, it's because Vinny has spent a good amount of money in the properties. They are maintained, and yes, he's expensive as a property owner, but I mean, without his investment in West End and Main Street, as well as others, you know, that place looks like it doesn't look well. You know, like you said, you got to work with people, because without it, I mean, without a partnership, a public-private partnership where the town works with developers and with property owners, what good are we?
If I may, the two lots on Main Street that are overgrown, it was put in the paper, I own those. I do not own those two lots. Our properties are maintained weekly.
What, Patterson's two empty lots?
I believe so, but
Yeah.
we're having Canal Day. They should be cleaned up by somebody. So. Oh, and the Main Street parking is going to be given to a dog shelter for the Canal Day, so all proceeds for that will go to food pantry and the dog shelter.
That's
So-
nice.
Thank you very much. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, I mean, I think, no one's made any disparaging comments about your businesses. We
Right.
really appreciate with
I know, and I appreciate
with
that.
everything, how everything looks, and we haven't made any demands. I think that it is good to talk about policy and how we're going to move forward from here, regardless of what's going on at 100 for now. And yeah, there's no one, as far as I know, knocking down the door for allocation. So we're just trying to find the best way forward and setting policy and having some precedent for that.
And I
first is the
appreciate
best
MJ
way
doing the job, but
to approach
don't
it,
poke the
so.
bear in these economic times. We're doing the best we can. We've been waiting for streetlights for 20 years on the west end of Main Street.
It's coming.
The Mike's screaming to get
coming.
streetlights. I gotta have I pay for all the streetlights in front of our stores for my tenants, because there's no streetlights that the town should provide. Now, right now, you go down West End, it's dark. Is that right? I put in 25 outside lights in the back parking lot. I did the front. Shouldn't the town do something? Participate?
We have really been asking, yes, this end of the table has been,
You know?
we want that west end of Main Street lighting for the area. We want that on the capital plan, and we want it soon.
It's not user-friendly after dark.
No, right. No, it's kind of scary, especially when there's bad weather at all. It just makes it even
It's not
harder
fair
to
to
see.
the tenants, and it's not fair to the taxpayers. Sorry, it's not. And,
It's tough. Growth is hard.
all right, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time, and
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we leave the allocation for the 100 block as is pending a 6-month review. And that same for the 8593 to 97 Main Street. We like to get 6-month reviews, just so we know what's happening and we feel like we're being informed, so.
Second?
All right, we have a motion from MJ, a second from Peter. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone, any comments, further discussion? All right, so moved.
We have to take a vote.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Roll call. We don't have a roll call because we have nobody on. So Jean?
Yes.
Sorry. Peter?
Yes.
MJ?
Yes.
Melissa? Yes. All right, moving on. Number 5 is our,
Can I just follow up quickly?
sure.
Yep.
Just, in 5.3.2, any exceeding uncommitted allocation will go on a wait list until, the way the policy is written right now, will go on a wait list until additional allocation becomes available. So that can either become available through changes we make here or people dropping off. But we can we can look at tightening up that policy to more of a step-by-step process if that's what.
I think especially when we're saying, based on our spreadsheet, that there's only 7,992 gallons per day available, that we need to have a process for how we're going to work with people who are interested and what steps we're going to take to be able to say yes to people that want to come in and do things.
Okay.
Can I get back up here? Why don't we have more, why aren't we putting money into having more gallons per day? What about this field that we put in, and why isn't that online? Don't we have another 200,000 gallons available?
Well, we have 300, if I may,
Please.
we have 300,000 gallons available, 200,000 through Wareham
Right.
and 100,000 through our new plant. We have allocated preliminary allocation for projects that are currently under construction or planning stage, including 100 Main Street. 136,395 gallons per day is committed based on Title V. There's a number of big projects. That includes 2 Kendall Ray Place. It includes the Bay Motor Inn redeveloped. It includes Maritime Holdings on Wagner Way.
So there's plenty of gallons.
Well, but those are allocated. So if they ever get built,
Well,
then we're going to have to.
what the board did
Yeah,
is they
that's-
scared all the developers, and they all rushed to get the gallons. You can't get financed.
Without
You cannot get financed for these projects through the federal government or any housing authority. I built the ice cream. It's 1,200 square feet, $650,000 for 1,200 square feet, and I built it. So who's coming? You can't build 30, 40, 50 units. You're going to spend $30, $40 million with your site improvements above grade. It's not going to work. You have to work with the people in Buzzards Bay, or it's going to stay the way it is.
So we also have 41,744 gallons per day, which are operational gallons for 227 Main Street, 8593 Main Street, Domino's, Calamar, the Mass Maritime Housing at the Beachmore, Jersey Mike's, EAV Solutions, and 340 Main Street. So 136 plus 41,000 plus you have 107,000 of actual usage going through the system in addition to those allocations. So we're showing that we're using 292,000 gallons.
But if you go back to, for what you allocate and for what we use is two different things. The DEP regs do not work nowhere. It's just, I don't even understand where they come up with.
I totally agree with you. That's why we need to have a figure about what we can actually allocate so that we have.
But the $1 million we have in the bank, shouldn't we be putting that into making a bigger leach field or putting it into the infrastructure downtown? It's not helping anybody. Maybe if you decrease the fee, here's one, if you want a hydrant hookup for a sprinkler system in Buzzards Bay, it's over $8,000 to fill out a form. You go to Pecasset, it's $150. Each unit, now, that new project, Kendall Ray Place, what's their fee just to turn the faucet on? A couple hundred, $300,000, $400,000? It's big money. That's going to defer, that's going to stop a guy coming in to build. So, all right, just to have the water run into my building, I'm going to have to give you $400,000. That's $400,000 they have to borrow.
At the Buzzards Bay Water District. Yeah, that's not.
You know,
That's not us.
we asked them for a separate line for sprinkler, so we didn't have to pay the sewer. They said no. What are we doing? I shouldn't be up here fighting with you or discuss. These should be givens. Work together as a community. I can't do everything myself. I'm getting tired. Like, he's been great. He's only been here a year. Peter's been great. You all been great. But we got to get on the same page and work together as a community. You know, you got people at town meetings screaming, yelling, "Oh, he's a millionaire. We're not going to give him $80,000." Keep your I don't need your $80,000. But what's going to happen? We don't do these small projects. You're going to get 3,000, 4,000 units. Projects is going to destroy this town. You got to look at the big picture. And these people building these hotels, they're going to get $7 million a year for your taxpayer money to put illegals in. And then you're going to see what happens downtown. I will win because they'll shop at my stores. But I don't want that. I don't want Dollar Trees. I want mom and pop restaurants and good people in Bourne. And that's what they deserve. So take that $1 million, let's get some more gallons going, and work with the taxpayer, work with the users, and the fees are ridiculous. People aren't going to wash their dishes. Wash is expensive.
Thank you, Mr. McKenzie.
That's the way it is.
All right.
I'm good.
All right, moving on. Thank you. All right, number 5 is our Hideaway Village Low Pressure System Upgrades Project. And I know I'm giving this to you, Matt.
So we had a discussion at the last meeting.
Yes.
So the estimates came in higher than they were anticipated. So our thought was to move forward. We had $378,000 in ARPA money, was to do 3 to 4 of the pump stations at Hideaway Village. There were some technical questions that came up, so I asked the engineers from Beta to come and speak to that and update you on the project.
Okay.
In case you had any more technical questions.
Great.
Primary reason I'm here is to clarify anything with flow allocation related to this project. I understand there was some discussions. So on our drawings, our preliminary drawings, we showed some proposed pump horsepowers and capacities. Those are not going to increase the ultimate discharge from this development. That's basically to ensure we have flushing velocity in the force main. So if a pump is called out for, say, 50 gallons a minute and one is 20 for the same size pump station, that 50 is just going to run for a shorter time. So I just wanted to clarify, there's no proposed changes to allocation for this project.
All right.
In general, so as Matt had described, the project consists of upgrading nine duplex systems down at Hideaway Village. We've done the preliminary design. One of the biggest challenges that we face is the underground electrical conduit required for the pumps because of electric code and things like that. So we did give Matt our opinion of probable cost. It is early to know exactly what it's going to cost, but based on our experience, we did give him some numbers we felt good about. And he asked us to pare back. And again, primarily I'm here to just assure you there's no change in flow allocation for the property.
Well, I don't think there was.
But
I said, I don't think there was.
okay, good.
I don't think it wasn't an issue for that.
All right, good.
They're grandfathered.
But the plans do show different capacity pumps, and I just want to make clear, it doesn't mean we're pumping more water from the site.
Okay.
So I think one of the things that we asked for was for Hideaway to confirm that these were the pump stations that they wanted to be worked on, because some of them were new. I think one of them has been just done a couple of years ago.
So Patrick is with Hideaway, and I also
Yeah.
believe Mary with.
Okay.
Okay.
They want to speak to anything also?
I'm here.
There were pumps replaced.
Yeah, as part of maintenance, they replaced some pumps that were failed, but it was replacement in kind. All the controls and everything still need to be upgraded.
Okay.
This, I know it's just, what's in our packet, but, the page 1 that Beta created, the head, with the heading is rehab of Hideaway Village grinder pump stations. We're no longer the Board of Selectmen, we are the Select Board based on our home rule charter, so I just want to make sure that
Yeah, we'll fix
it's
that.
accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter, for catching that. MJ, did you have more to?
I just wanted to hear confirmation from Hideaway.
From
that this-
Hideaway?
That
Okay.
this is their village. Are they in agreement that this is the priority for these?
Yes.
You have to come up to the microphone.
Yes, please. Yeah.
And Mary's
Just state your
online.
name and your town, and Mary also, she's speaking.
Hi, I'm Patrick Murphy, General Manager for Hideaway. Yeah, we're totally in agreement to have this done.
Okay.
And Mary's up on the screen. She's the president of the association.
She took it back?
Okay. Well, there's your answer.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mary. You're welcome. Any further questions? MJ, Jean, anyone? Do you have any more to add, do you think,
So
Matt, on that?
can the board make a motion for us to move, how they'd like us to move, if we can move forward with the complete design and bidding on
We think
the
we're all
first
ready
3
for
pumps?
So move.
So which pumps are we doing? Pumps.
1 through 3.
that? One,
Pump
two,
stations
three.
1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And as we get closer, we would like the opportunity to do as adults in the bid,
So
at least pump 4.
from a technical standpoint in design, it doesn't change much. So we're going to try to be consistent across pump stations as hydraulics permit us to. So what I'm going to say is, even though maybe we can't do them all, the design, when the money does become available.
Okay. So my motion will be a motion to move forward with cost estimates. Actually, motion to move forward with upgrades to pump stations 1, 2, and 3 for Hideaway Village, and not to exceed the amount of $330,750.
All right, so we have a motion from Peter, a second from Jean. All in favor?
I'm sorry, I
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
go ahead.
there is
I was-
$378,000 available on ARPA funding. 330,000 was the estimate,
Yeah.
so,
So we have
But you
378,000.
have it in 78, but
Yeah.
not to exceed, but, because it says the cost is $330,750. That's the only reason why I put
Okay.
that much motion.
I see.
all right.
All right.
Is that fair? Okay.
Yep.
So we have a motion from Peter, a second from Jean. All
What is the number? We're going not to exceed
Eid.
378.
Available for,
Because they're also,
Yeah, I
you
mean-
saying that they'll add alternates to do another pump station.
well, they need to
if
come
it's
back for the
available.
ad optimists, right?
Well, we bid them, we'd want to bid them. It would depend, so if the prices came in favorable, then we could do the pumps as part of the bidding process.
Fine.
Okay, so
I
Peter amend your
will
motion.
withdraw my motion and make a new motion. The motion is to authorize the upgrades to pump stations 1, 2, and 3, and not to exceed the amount of $378,991.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion from Peter, a second from Jean. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any further discussion? All right, so, Peter, you gonna vote?
We already did.
Well, why did we do that last? You're getting me confused here tonight. Jeez. Okay, I did the roll call last time. Okay, so moved, thank you. Jeez. Slow today, I'm slow today, forgive me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. We didn't keep you long, but we. Thank you. This is my train of thought today, for sure. All right, so we're going to do the DPW Director's Report.
I only have one item on my report this evening. It's just that we're still moving forward with the groundwater discharge permit. We've received a draft permit.
Yeah.
We reviewed it internally, and there were no major changes to it. Weston and Sampson just double checking to make sure there's nothing we missed. Once we get back to DEP, there'll be a 30-day comment period that we have to advertise for. And then once that's complete, DEP, if there's no concerns that come of that, DEP will issue us a final draft of the permit.
Thank
That was the
you.
only thing I had. I just wanted to,
Which is good for how long? It's 5
years.
5 years?
Yep.
And it's the same, we're groundwater discharge permit is for the same 6 gallons per minute or 3 gallons per minute.
It's
the
a-
same.
yeah, it's all the flow is the same, and all of the nitrates and all of the testing, my mind just went.
I know, it's
all
one
of
them
the,
nice, I think.
all the testing parameters are the same.
Okay.
And what's the status of the new chemicals and are we in compliance with DEP now with everything?
Yes, we are. We are back in compliance.
Excellent, thank you. All right, thank you, Matt, again. All right,
Is
now
that
we're
plant
at,
permitted for 10 or 5 or 4? What's the plant permitted for?
It's 100,000 gallons a day.
Yeah, but what's the permit for the nitrogen?
10.
Okay. Thank you.
good, he knows that stuff, I love it, thank you, Matt. All right, now we're at the policy discussion. Not sure if we want to talk more about your discussion before, MJ, or what we have working on policy right now.
I have nothing for policy updates other than we'll work on what was discussed on the earlier
Okay.
item.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about the allocations and the, or do you want to, I mean, we voted on it earlier, but to talk about.
We voted to
or
leave the
to leave the
allocation
allocations, but
for 6 months,
we
give
want to
them another 6
discuss
months.
policy regarding the excess and the overages and all that, or no? No? Nobody wants to talk about that?
I mean,
Okay.
I think it's scary. I mean,
I mean, we-
the last month when we came here, we were told that we had 1,622 gallons available for new development. And that to me is a signal that we have to be having discussions about how we're gonna have allocation. And I think that we need to figure out as a board, you know, how do we balance the Title V allocation number that we use with what's projected actual, and how do we manage it so that we don't overcommit the plants, so we can't process the sewage that's coming with having available allocation? And what's the future? Do we have to start looking at expansion, or what is our build-out? I mean, I think these are big policy discussions, and I think we have to be aware.
Well, right, and I know that we did have the discussion recently about the excess overages that people aren't using. So, and how we were gonna handle that. So that's certainly something we need to talk about too, I guess. That's a point. All right. Peter, you look like you're gonna say something, but
No, I'm not saying a word.
All right, so I guess that's our policy. I guess we have to work on that and figure a way, like MJ said, I mean, she's right. We do, 7994 is a scary number, and we do have a lot of it that's not being used. So we should look at the policy that you have in there and figure a way around it or figure something out. So I agree.
Okay.
That's the most equitable for
Right.
everyone, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not just 100 block that's not using all of their allocation either. So we should note that. It's a lot of the buildings, we've noticed that some of them are, like you said, 75% is being used, and there's a lot remaining. So we can make that discussion later, so, all right. Minutes.
There are none.
I thought there was
I looked at old minutes.
some old.
There was no, I don't think there
No,
was
those
any
were just for
minutes.
reference, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, no, those.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, those were just for reference.
Those are just
this morning.
reference, yeah,
Yeah.
just want to make sure, all right, so we have no minutes, there are no correspondence that I saw either. Future agenda items, obviously, this policy discussion needs to be had. And figuring out our allocations and how do we handle that, and figure out how we can get more allocation. Right? Committee reports, anyone? No? All right, our next meeting date is October 29th, 2024.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All right, motion by Peter, second by Jean. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any discussion? All right, so moved.
Good.
Thank you.